Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. So we got an Arizona lottery van here. Now, when I was in 8th grade, I conjured up this lottery game that somebody probably has won. The prize for winning isn't all that remarkable, and the people who have won, there's probably a few in the world, don't even know they've won the lottery, right? Here's the problem: the people who win the first prize are not that much better off than somebody who wins 100th or even 1,000th prize. That's the problem, right? I'll let you pause the video to think about what kind of lottery I'm talking about. Most people win something. Some people lose. But even if you win first prize, it's not going to be all that much better than somebody who wins 100th or even a 1,000,000th prize. Well, I was in 8th grade, and I had just learned a little bit about probability. And I thought about someday when I go look for my future wife and I get married, what is the probability that I married the best person that I could ever want to marry? And at the time, the world population was 6 billion when I was thinking about this. And I thought to myself, I had a 1 in 3 billion chance, right? At the time, gay marriage was not in vogue yet, right? So I thought there was a 1 in 3 billion chance. And probably more than that, right? Because most people don't just randomly meet somebody and then get married, right? And I'll probably get at least some choice, right? And so I thought, well, it's at least 1 in 3 billion. But then I thought 6 billion people get to play the game. Some people are bound to win. But then I realized if you win first prize, you're not going to be all that much better off than even somebody who was in the top 1% of the winners, right? And so, but it really bothered me that somebody gets to win this game, but then they don't even realize that they've won first prize, right? It's kind of like a lottery where some people win $10,000, but then you got a whole boatload of people who win $9,000, right? It's kind of like a lottery that looks like that, right? But then there are other notable ways to win, right? You could meet that number one person on the very first date and propose marriage right there, right? I wonder if that has ever happened. Obviously, we won't know if it has ever happened because you won't know that the person has even won, right? Certainly, there are people who get married on the first date. I did a little research on that at one point. Whether or not it was their number one choice is a whole different story, right? Another way you could win spectacularly is if you marry somebody that is number one, not only of the 8 billion people who are alive today, but even amongst the dead and the people to come, right? Obviously, we'll never know if anybody wins that lottery, right? I don't think I have one because the number one person that I would love to marry has long since died, right? At least in comparison to everybody else that I've met that is alive today, right? I often want to travel. When I first studied chemistry, I wanted to invent something to travel back in time to be with her when she was widowed, obviously, right? I don't feel that way anymore because I think she had another second very beautiful marriage as well. I don't want to disrupt that anymore. Another spectacular way you could win is if it was mutual, right? If both of them felt like they married the best person. Obviously, we won't know. That probably has happened too, right? Another way you could win is, I don't know, I'll let you think about that, right? But whatever way you think about, probably somebody has won because there's so many people in the world, and I don't know. Maybe someday in the future we'll have some kind of technology where you could do a DNA test and they could the algorithm could figure out who's meant for who, right? I don't. Would you want to join something like that if there was a DNA test? This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.